Well, we certainly do, Larry. We played Truman last year in the qualifying round, and they had a lot of juniors on their football team. We were fortunate to beat them 28-0, but we knew they'd probably have an excellent chance to be in the playoffs again this year, and here they are back going for the Minnesota State Class C title.
And of course, this is an exciting team for all of these players. Most of the first chance they've gotten to be in the Metrodome, they're on the turf. A lot of them have gotten out and bought special shoes and things like that so that they can play on the turf, and it's a pretty exciting time for all these folks, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. I think this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to Minnesota high school football. The fact that you can play indoors and you don't have to worry in the championship. These kids can show their skills on an artificial turf, although probably the only chance they've ever had to play on artificial turf, but it's great. I really thoroughly enjoyed that first game between Lee Center and Monoman.
It was a good one, and we're looking for good football all afternoon at the Metrodome. We'll be back with the Class C championship right after we take this time out. We are back at the Metrodome. Larry Burnett along with John Gross, and you are looking at the Truman Blue Jays, a team, as we said, John Gross, you know a whole lot about, and a team that comes into this game, Prep Bowl 1, with some fine credentials.
Well, they certainly do. They are 10-1 on the season. They've only lost came, I think, a third game of the season to Adrian by a score of 37-27. And they are pretty much a run-orientated team. They'll throw very little, and they're a good physical football team on the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. I haven't had a chance to see Belgrade, but everything that I've read about them has been very good. They're undefeated, and of course any team that comes into the state high school championship game undefeated is certainly got there by playing excellent football, and this should be a great football game.
Belgrade, of course, the team you saw in the red just moments ago, and you talk about that Belgrade team, they play some bodacious defense because they've only given up the most in one game this year, 14 points. So they are playing awfully well. They've been unscored upon in the third quarter, and so many times the third quarter is all that important. Here are our officials for this afternoon's Class C game between Belgrade and Truman. You see it, Dobert, Knopf, Kozadowski, and Potvin. They'll be out there calling all the plays for us this afternoon. John and I will be here in the booth calling them all for you. And we're looking for two teams that run the football. They like to run between the tackles. They like to come right at you. You'll see them put the ball up every once in a while, John, but really it's two teams that live by the run, and we're going to see them run the football.
I think generally in Minnesota high school football, you'll see that the teams that year in and year out reach the finals of the state generally get there by virtue of the run. The weather in Minnesota, being what it is not conducive to a passing game 9, 10, 11, 12 games in the season. You have to get there basically with the run, and I think you'll see that year in and year out, and these two teams are good examples of that.
Okay, we're talking about Truman a little bit, a team that likes to run the football, and they've got two fine running backs. And number 44, Pat Gunderson, who rushed for almost 1,400 yards, scored 12 touchdowns this year. You'll look for him. He'll be coming out of the left halfback slot. They'll run the wing. They like to put him on the wing on the left. They'll put Peterson on the wing on the right from time to time. Peterson is the son of Coach Ron Peterson. He's number 25, and he'll work out of that backfield on the right side most of the time. He has rushed for almost 930 yards this year and 9 touchdowns. They like to run out of the wing. They like to make things move. They'll run that slot I formation, and as we said, pretty much they'll come right at you. They'll go against that tough Belgrade defense, and they've got some size up front. They've got the Weller boys up there on the left side. They've got John Nisley at the guard position. Bjork playing defensive tackle number 77, and you'll also see Brian Mathiasen up there. And it's a team that pretty much comes at you on defense, John.
Right. One of their outstanding players is Ricky Lindahl, who has 112 tackles on the season, a fine linebacker.
Okay, let's go down to the field now and pick up the introduction of the players for this Class C championship.
Truman has won the pregame toss and elected to receive. Belgrade to kick off and defend the east goal. The visiting team in this game and the champion of the Middle 8 Conference is Truman. They will be defending the west goal. The coach is Ron Peterson. The home team in this game and the champion of the Prairie Lakes Conference is Belgrade, and they will defend the east goal. Their coach is Dennis Weimerskirch. Your referee for this game is Gerald Dobert. And now the remainder of the team members will meet at the middle of the field for the Minnesota Prep Bowl pregame handshake. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the Class C Minnesota Football Championship.
Okay, you're looking at the Metrodome, and as we said, for so many of these players, it's the first time playing indoors, and they are pretty much excited not only about playing for the championship. Some of the coaches have said, John, that they were hoping that the semifinal game didn't become the big game for these players because they didn't want them not to be up for the game because they'd be so excited about being in the Dome.
That's a very good point, but I still think that there's nothing that matches the thrill of high school kids playing in such a magnificent spectacle as this, not alone with all the bands and the glamour, but in such a beautiful facility for football. It's just, I think, the greatest thing that's happened to Minnesota high school football.
Okay, we'll be seeing the Belgrade Redmen. They'll be kicking off, and they'll be moving from right to left as far as we're looking at it. In the white uniforms, you see Truman, and the Blue Jays will be moving from left. They'll be receiving the opening kickoff. We'll play 12-minute quarters, and we are looking for some kind of a football game because we've got two teams. Belgrade ranked number 2 in the state in the AP poll, and a lot of the fans out here too. They've allowed the fans to move into the seating behind the team that they're rooting for. They've got basically reserved seats, but they figured, hey, if you traveled all this way and you paid your money to get in here, you might as well be able to sit behind the team and cheer them on and let them know that you're out there. So the way they're going to work it for these games, they'll let the fans come down, sit right behind the bench, and then when it comes time for the next team to move in, they'll move out into their other seats.
I think that's really an excellent idea.
Okay, kicking off for Belgrade, we've got number 79, that's Michael Rickard, and here we go. We're going in the Class C championship game. Truman picks up the ball. That's Peterson with it. Coming to the near side. He's across the 30 and up to midfield. Look out. Truman on the move on the opening kickoff. And he's out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Excellent field position as Buckholz in on the tackle for Belgrade.
Just an excellent run by Ron Peterson as he took that ball and skirted to his right, found an opening, and very nearly went all the way.
Take a look at it again. Not a bad way to get started off.
You'll see it coming up here on the replay as Peterson fields the ball, kind of fumbles it. Now he comes to his right. He gets a good block right there, and then just turns on the speed, gets to the outside, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Okay.
1st and 10 at the 40. They go to the left side with Gunderson. He's got an opening down to about the 21-yard line. So first down on the first play. And as we said, they're going to give the ball to Gunderson and Peterson. They're going to let him run it. Buckholz again in on the tackle, number 22, along with Lindahl, number 21 at that linebacker spot.
Just an excellent run off the left side, and Truman has made no... Here we're going to see a replay now as it comes up with Gunderson taking the ball to his left. As you see, a nice hole there. He cuts it back to the inside and just turns on the speed and very nearly breaks it off all the way.
Here they go again with Gunderson on first, and he gets inside the 20 down to about the 18-yard line. Class C championship game. We've got Truman and Belgrade just underway here, about 11 minutes left in the first quarter. Take a look at that backfield, and of course some of the people being involved in the offense for Truman, and they are on the move. You see him, Rosberg, Gunderson, Peterson, Jones the fullback. He'll be blocking most of the day, and Mothwig and Tainter up there. Those are the guys who, when they do throw the ball, they will catch it. We're looking at 2nd and 8. They go up the middle this time, and Belgrade showing some good defense. They get in on the tackle, number 79, Rickard once again. That for a slight gain. Oh, just about down to about the 17-yard line. So we'll call it a pickup of about 1. It should be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go. There's the guys who do it in the trenches for Truman. Vogt, Sherman, Drevlo, Leet, and Atkins. They got some size up front, averaging about 190 pounds, 195 pounds across that front line. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Ball on the 18-yard line of Belgrade. Rolling out is Rosberg going to the left side. He's got Gunderson inside the 5-yard line down to about the 3. Truman on the move here early in the game, John.
Nice little misdirection play inside with the ball going to the right. And then the quarterback rolling to his left and finding Gunderson open. And the ball's inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the replay now as you'll see the quarterback roll out to his left. As good throw right on target to Gunderson, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Now, we mentioned that Truman doesn't run the ball a whole lot, or rather doesn't pass the ball a whole lot, but Rosberg has hit 29 of 78 this year, has thrown for 4 TDs. He's got him at 1st and goal at the 4 right now. They try the right side, and just about no give in the left side of that Belgrade defensive line. In there on the tackle for Belgrade at that one was Lindahl, number 21 from the linebacker spot. He leads the team in tackles. Here's that defense for Belgrade. We talked about him before. The Weller brothers on the left side of that line. John Nisley in the middle at the guard spot. Bjork and Mathiasen at the defensive end spot. Here we go. They go with the stacked eye in the backfield. Second and goal. And it's Gunderson, and he's in. Touchdown. So Truman draws first blood. 9:46 left here in the first quarter. It's 6-zip. Class C championship action.
Gunderson running the ball in for the first touchdown in the Class C state championship. The score now, Truman 6, Belgrade nothing.
Here we go again, John.
Here's the replay coming up. As you'll see, Gunderson powers his way over the goal line. Excellent defense there, but just too much momentum by Gunderson. Carries him over the goal line, and Truman now leads by a score of 6-0.
Now, we're going to talk an awful lot about Pat Gunderson and Ron Peterson, the guys who get the ball all the time. But I want you from time to time to take a look at number 28, the fullback, Phil Jones, because he is an excellent blocker, doesn't get a lot of credit. Rushed for about 500 yards. We're going to try the extra point here. Truman will do it with Drevlo attempting the kick. Rosberg holding it, and it is blocked.
Rosberg having a little trouble getting the ball down on the tee, and the kick is blocked by the on-rushing Belgrade defense.
Looked like number 73, John Nisley, getting in there. And there's a timeout with the score now, Truman 6 and Belgrade 0.
These Xerox and IBM copiers were made to do bigger jobs than the new Minolta EP300, but when nationwide...
Quarterback is Duvel, and the give in the back. Number 76, Pat Atkinson, will be doing...
than the new Minolta EP300, but when Nationwide Consumer Testing Institute compared them just for copy quality, surprisingly, they found no difference. Why surprisingly? Because the Xerox sells for about $16,000, the IBM for about $22,000, and the Minolta for under $2,200. The Minolta EP300, at up to 10 times the price, we'd still look good.
Call Copy Duplicating Products about the new EP300, 854-7545.
Let us review the deployment of Crown Auto Servicing. Minneapolis, St. Paul alone, there are 22 service centers strategically placed. White Bear, Burnsville, Egan, Eden Prairie, Spring Lake Park, Anoka, Columbia Heights, New Hope. So, wherever in the Twin Cities there's an oil change to be changed, a tune-up to be tuned, a front-end alignment to be aligned, Crown Auto's 22 service centers will be there.
Back at the Metrodome, number 76, Pat Atkinson, will be doing the kicking off for Truman. Back deep to receive for Belgrade is number 33, Tim Wengler. Also, Buckholz back there. They fumble it around. That's Wengler picking it up at about the 14-yard line. Breaks some tackles, does a nice job to get out across the 20-yard line. And we're going to get a chance to take a look at this Belgrade offense. We've heard an awful lot. Jeff Greiner, number 40, in on the tackle for Truman on that play. An 8-yard kickoff return, and it will be Belgrade taking over at their own 22-yard line. There's the offensive set for Belgrade. You'll see Duvel, the quarterback. Boyning is a heck of a running back. Buckholz will be back there along with Lindahl. Watch out for 21 and 27. And Schumann and Mathiasen will be the ends as they set up. You look for him in the wing tee. They'll move the wing from side to side. The quarterback is Duvel. And the give in the backfield is to Boyning as he comes to the near side. Boyning picks up a couple of yards, gets up to about the 24-yard line. This is the young man we were talking about, tackled there by number 76, Pat Atkinson. Boyning has rushed for 1,469 yards. He scored 15 touchdowns, and this guy's going to carry the ball for him.
He certainly will. You have to go with what got you here.
There you see the offensive line, the guys that do all the work and get very little credit all year long. Okay, they move the wing over to the right side. Split backs in the backfield. Once again, they come to the near side. This time they go with Lindahl, and he picks up a couple of yards out to about the 27-yard line. Atkinson, once again, very busy on that defensive line for Truman, and he makes the tackle.
Atkinson is 6'4", 240 pounds, so he's a pretty big man to move out of there on that defense for Truman.
And this is that Truman defense. You see them. Third down, 5 yards to go. The ball on the 27-yard line. Belgrade has it. They're trailing 6-0. We've got about 8.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Good defensive play once again by Pat Atkinson. Get the number of that truck because that guy's been busy ever since they got on defense. He makes the tackle as Duvel tries to come to the near side. Here's the guys in the secondary and the linebackers. They'll be very busy. The linebackers on this Truman team make most of the tackles, except for Pat Atkinson so far. He has been very busy, number 76, up on that defensive line on the right side.
3 plays, 3 tackles for Atkinson.
And that forces 4th down, and that means a punting situation. The man who does the punting for Belgrade is Paul Lindahl, averaging just about 33 yards per kick. He gets this one off. It's a line drive, and it's taken in at the 40-yard line. Truman gets across midfield, so once again on their second possession, they will be in Belgrade territory. So we've got a timeout with the score, Truman 6 and Belgrade nothing.
Only at Schmidt's will you find such a complete selection of the season's finest home organ buys.
In a hurry to get back on the scoreboard.
AM, only Emery
Where? Eyewitness Weather Services, a 24-hour commitment to total weather coverage from the news leader with new ideas on Channel 5.
We're back at the Metrodome. Larry Burnett along with John Gross. This Truman team in a hurry to get back on the scoreboard. They ran 2 plays while we had commercials. They've moved down to the 31-yard line where they've got it 1st and 10. They put a slot out to the left side. They go on the draw to Gunderson, and he gets just about nothing. Maybe a half a yard up to the 30. We'll call it 2nd down and 9 yards to go. That Belgrade defense looking better as the game goes on, John.
Right. They apparently a little bit jittery in the early going, which I guess is natural. And they've toughened up their defense now, and Truman has had some trouble running consistently on that left side.
Okay, the scoreboard calls it 2nd and 10, so we'll go along with them on this one. Truman setting it up. They've got Rosberg at quarterback. The fake, here
reverse.
we go. This is Peterson coming around on the reverse to the near side. He's inside the 20-yard line to about the 19. He won't have the 1st down, but it's short going. Steve Buchholz once again in on the tackle, number 22 from his cornerback spot. We're going to take a look at it again, John.
Excellent call here by the Truman Blue Jays as Belgrade is really stacked inside, and they run the reverse outside. Peterson with great speed turns it on, and a fine open field tackle made on the play for Belgrade.
So it's 1st down and 10. They set up the I formation once again with Jones and Gunderson. They put Peterson on the wing on the left side. Then they go to the left side with Gunderson. Watch Jones out front. Gunderson cuts in. He's inside the 15. This guy is hard to get down. Pat Gunderson gets him down to about the 13-yard line, where it looks like it'll be a pickup of about 6 yards.
Paul Boyning makes the tackle for Belgrade on the play, and it's a swarming type defense that Belgrade is playing. It's not just one man in on the tackle. They're getting 2 or 3 tacklers in there.
You see it again.
Here you see it on the replay as Gunderson follows his blocker to the left, then cuts it back, and watch his legs keep driving here. He refuses to go down. He just spins and keeps fighting on the play.
Back to live action now, and you see Peterson going up the middle for another gain and a 1st down at about the 7-yard line. 6-0. Truman leading Belgrade as Ricky Lindahl makes the tackle on that play.
Truman threatening to push in a second quick score. They've moved the ball in both their offensive series that they've had so far. We still got 5 minutes and 33 seconds left to be played in the 1st quarter.
And a good field position has not hurt this Truman team. They've gotten the ball in Belgrade territory on the opening kickoff, and then once again when they picked up the on the punt on the last possession. Gunderson doesn't get a whole lot on this one, maybe a pickup of about a yard. One of the impressive things, I think, John, about Truman has been once they get you looking for that inside run, when they got down close last time, they went with the rolled out pass. When they got inside the 30 this time, they went with the reverse. So they're maybe a conservative team, but they're going to throw some changes at you from time to time.
Very good point. That's right. They're a multiple offensive football team. They run primarily the slot I. And, of course, Gunderson will line up most of the time as a tailback in the I formation, but they will change up their sets and once in a while use a power I formation and, as we said, not afraid to use a reverse play and so on. So it's going to be interesting to see how Belgrade's defense is able to adjust.
Kind of makes you hungry just watching it, doesn't it? 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Rosberg fakes to the far side, comes back to the near side where he hits Tainter, and Tainter looks like he's in for Pater. Another touchdown. And once again, another play that you don't expect to come from this team from Truman.
A well-conceived screenplay to Tainter, who had gone down and then dropped back, really had the Belgrade defense fooled. You'll see it here on the replay coming up as the throw is out here to Tainter. He follows his blocking. The man there had a chance to make the tackle, and then it's sheer determination, gets him in the end zone, and it's Belgrade or I should say Truman 12, Belgrade nothing.
And Drevlow will once again try the extra point. This time he gets it past the defensive line. It's up through the uprights, and we've got a 13-0 score. Truman leading Belgrade. We're still in the first quarter, and we've got just about 5 minutes left to go. Interestingly enough, the man who was out front blocking on that touchdown by Tainter was number 76, Pat Atkinson, and I think we're going to be calling his name quite a bit.
Very mobile tackle to get out there in front of that screen, as it was actually a quick screen thrown out into the right flat. But again, as you said, Larry, kind of an unpredictable type play. I think certainly Belgrade wasn't looking for it down there deep inside their own territory.
So Tainter scores on the 8-yard pass from Rosberg, the extra point by Drevlow, and we have got a 13-0 game. We're looking at the Class C championship. Keep in mind, we've got football all afternoon here on Channel 5. We'll follow this one up with 9-man, and if you haven't seen it before, you're not going to want to miss it this afternoon because it is one different kind of game. We've got two fine teams playing. That's immediately after this game, and the man who made the block and the man who's been making the tackles is the man kicking off, Pat Atkinson. He'll be kicking off with Wengler back deep to receive the kick. It's going to be a short one, and it's going to come down to Boyning, number 27. He takes it at about the 22, comes up the middle of the field, and he's down at about the 29 at the near hash mark. So once again, Belgrade with a pretty decent field position, but not the kind of field position that Truman has enjoyed so far.
Well, it'll be interesting to see now if Belgrade is able to put together a sustained drive. Truman has come out and really run their plays in a hurry, coming out of the huddle very quickly, and Belgrade now is going to have to put together some type of a offensive drive if they expect to stay in the game.
They go with a wing to the near side and go right up the middle. Pickup of about 3 yards on that play by Boyning, and the tackle made by Phil Jones, the nose guard. He's had 41 tackles this year. Interestingly enough, the man who plays next to him is Darcy Drevlow. He's had 48 tackles, but you look for most of the tackles by Truman to be made by the cornerbacks and the linebackers. Number 25, Peterson, leads the team with 113 at the linebacker spot, and the second man is the cornerback, Doug Nealand, with 87. Here we go, 2nd down 7, and this time it is going to be Duval keeping and not getting a whole lot. Once again, they try that side with Pat Atkinson. Gunderson comes in from the linebacker spot to help out, but that right side, or rather the left side, I guess you would call it, as you run against it, pretty tough to go against this Truman team.
Certainly is. Atkinson is a fine defensive tackle at 240 pounds and 6'4". As I said earlier, he's very tough to move out of there.
Key situation with the flanker on the right side now for Belgrade. Duval wants to pass, has a man, looks like he's open, and he does. It's Schumann, and Schumann goes out of bounds at about the 21-yard line on 3rd and 6. Jim Bentz comes in to make the tackle, but the first really big play for Belgrade so far.
Well, Belgrade certainly proved that they have the ability to throw the football. A very fine throw, as you'll see coming up here on the replay. Quarterback setting up and throws it out there. A well-executed pass right over the shoulder, and it's Bentz making the touchdown-saving tackle here. As you see, Dave Bentz coming in to, or Jim Bentz rather, to coming in to make the tackle for Truman.
That pass just over the outstretched hands of quarterback Ross Becker, number 10. 1st and 10. They go with the full house, send a man in motion to the near side. They go straight ahead with Boyning, and Boyning gets down to about the 20-yard line.
Quick inside trap play that time, very well executed by the Belgrade offensive line.
Jones and Gunderson make the tackle for Truman. Well, we got a football game. 3:17 remaining in the first quarter. Truman has scored the first 2 times they've gotten the football, but Belgrade is on the move. Timeout down on the field. Looks like an official's timeout. So Truman will regroup on defense, and you'll look at Belgrade regrouping on offense. That's Bruce Duval, their quarterback. 20 of 53 passing this year. He's thrown for 5 TDs. Total of 333 yards. He's been intercepted 3 times. He does not want an interception now, and don't be surprised if Belgrade does not put the ball in the air. Flank around wide to the right. They split him in the backfield, and they go with Boyning once again. Boyning with good movement down to inside the 15-yard line.
Now it appears that Belgrade is getting their offense together here as a gaping hole over the right side, and a nice run gets them the first down.
Belgrade, a team, as we said, is going to come straight at you. They'll run the straight dives with the fullbacks and the halfbacks. They'll fake to the halfback every once in a while and let the fullback go off tackle. You're going to see them blocking and running for each other, and that's the trademark of this team. Quick pitch to Boyning. He wants to come to the near side. Gets a block from Lindahl, but not before he is taken down on the play by Rick Mathwig, number 89. Good defensive play.
Fine defensive play that time by Mathwig, the right defensive end, as he refused to be taken out on the play and turned. Here's the replay. As you'll see it, it's a quick pitch to the left, and you'll see Mathwig come up here and get an arm on the shirt or hand on the shirt and throw down the ball carrier, Boyning.
Well, this is a Truman team that gave up just 59 yards per game rushing, and they are being tested here in the first quarter of the Class C championship. They go with Boyning once again. He's a workhorse, and he gets down just about to the 10-yard line.
Tackle made on the play by Pat Gunderson. Gunderson has 49 tackles coming into this ball game.
John, as you know only too well, we're not going to see tremendous platooning throughout this afternoon. Most of the guys who play offense play defense, and most of the guys who are excellent on offense are excellent on defense. Third down, 5 yards to go. They put the ball at the 9-yard line. Duval looking in the corner once again for Schumann. Does he have him? No, they call it out of bounds. The official right on the sideline called it out of bounds. Nice effort, though, by Schumann. That's the young man who caught the pass earlier that got him down into scoring position. He's 5'11", 166 pounds, a senior. You'll see it from the end zone up top.
Here it comes. We see the ball thrown up. The ball hangs just a little bit too long, and great effort to get to the ball before he went out of bounds. But
possibility that he bobbled it there. Right. The official was right on the sideline, so we'll go along with him. Fourth down, 5 yards to go. Belgrade is going for it. 1:39 left in the first quarter. Over the middle, it's pulled in by Lindahl, but it is going to be short of the first down, so the ball will turn over to the Truman Blue Jays. Doug Nealand with a nice hit right down around the legs, the way you like to see him take a man out. As we said, he's one of the leading tacklers on this team, and that was a key one there, John.
It certainly was. That last drive really, I think, did a lot for the confidence of Belgrade. They certainly showed that they could move the football, and I think we're going to have a wild, wide-open offensive affair the way this thing is starting out.
You see it, time running out in the first quarter. Truman setting up in that I formation once again. They put the wing out to the left side with Peterson, and here we go with Gunderson. He's up across the 10 to about the 13-yard line. Both teams moving the ball effectively here throughout the late going in the first quarter. We've got a 13-0 lead. Truman over Belgrade as we are in the first quarter of the Class C championship game here at the Metrodome. Hope you're enjoying it. They are playing some football down on the turf, and most of these players have never played on the turf before, so quickness may be important, cutting important. They only got a chance to work out on the turf an hour yesterday, and they're getting a chance to do it for real here today. They go with the fullback, Jones, straight ahead. He may pick up a yard or two on second down. We'll call it a pickup of a yard. Nisley from his nose guard position getting in there to make the tackle.
Nisley with 79 tackles on the season has been the mainstay of that Belgrade-Redmond defense. Both these teams, by the way, are playing a 5-man front, and normally the nose guard on a 5-man front is usually one of the leading tacklers on the football team that employs that type of defense.
Third down and 4, and Rosberg wants to pass on third over the middle and intended on that play for Mathwig, number 89, but he just couldn't hold on to it as they tried to hit the tight end coming across the middle. So for the first time, we're going to see the punting game for Truman.
And now Belgrade could come out of this with great field position because Truman's going to be forced to punt that ball from inside the 10-yard line.
What do you do here, John? Do you put the rush on and maybe try to block it, or do you go for the return at this point?
Well, it depends on the philosophy, I suppose, of the defensive coaches of Belgrade. Maybe they feel they would just as soon set up the return.
They've got one man back. The rush is on. Peterson gets it off. It's a good kick. Wengler will pull it in at about his own 42-yard line. He retreats inside the 40. He could be in trouble. Tries to get outside. And the man over there to make the tackle for Truman is number 78, Brad Vogt. So Vogt, a big guy, getting down there and making some pretty good moves to make that play. Wengler, you see him, number 33, a good run-back man, averages about 10 yards per punt return. Also does the kick returns, averaging just under 20. A 44-yard punt, you call it a 1-yard return, so that's a plus of 43 if you're looking at it from Truman's side. And we've got 2 seconds left, 1 second, they'll count it down. And that is the end of the first quarter. So with a break in the action here, we'll tell you it's Truman 13, Belgrade nothing.
Taxi! I'm Brewster. I was the best salesman I ever had.
Great. I've got my own company and sales are really firing.
What else? You see Belgrade as we start.
My own company and sales are really firing. all over. They see our toll-free number, they call, and we've got a new customer.
Sound familiar?
As part of our telemarketing service brings down the cost of selling.
Taught him everything he knows. I care.
Bell 800 service. It's another way to get things done today.
Well, as you can see, the teams have brought their own contingents with them to cheer them on, and why not? Hey, these teams have played great football all year long just to get here, and this is not only the crowning glory for the teams getting here, for the fans and the parents who have put up with all the late hours of practice and everything else. You see Belgrade, as we start things off, they're now going from left to right. They go with Borning as he tries to cut his way across the 45-yard line. Pick up about, we'll call it 3 yards, and it'll be second down and a long 7.
Darcy Drevelo makes the tackle on the play for Truman on that last inside trap play. It appeared to be, but it was pretty well stacked up inside by Darcy Drevelo and Pat Gunderson, the linebacker for Truman.
Second down. They put the wing out on the left side this time. Split backs. They go straight ahead with Borning, and Borning is across midfield. Now this Truman defense, they'll play the 5-2. They'll switch to the 6-man every once in a while. Sherman Scott making the defensive play for Truman on that play. You'll know when they make the switch to that 6-man front because they'll move number 25 Peterson up from the linebacker spot. He will become a guard, and you'll see the 6-man front. Third down, 3 yards to go. Belgrade now in Truman territory at the 49-yard line. Fake in the backfield. Oh, and what a hit back there. And guess who it was? Pat Atkinson, number 76, putting the hurt on Ricky Lindahl.
That was as fine a hit as we've seen in this football game so far, as Atkinson was coming hard from his right defensive tackle position. And as you'll see it coming up here on the replay.
Watch number 76.
Look at it. Fine tackle. Head in front. Good form. Good follow-through. Excellent tackle.
Well, the man who just got hit is the man who's going to have to do the punting now on 4th and 4 from midfield. Bentz is back to receive the kick. It's an end-over-end kick. He pulls it in at the 19-yard line, and he runs into heavy traffic. Gets up to about the 26, and really that's the worst field position that Truman has had so far today.
That's right. They've got the ball at midfield on both of their scoring drives, or inside the 50-yard line, so now Truman is going to have to go from their own 31-yard line.
Well, they have shown a tendency to go with Gunderson on first down, and why not? The guy's been gaining yardage all over the place. 31 yards on that last punt, and a 7-yard return by James Bentz. Gunderson now goes into the wing on the right side. The give goes to Peterson, and he is racked up by another number 76. That's Jeff Hansen, supposed to be the backup defensive tackle on the right side for Belgrade, in to make the stop on that play.
Once again, a fine defensive play, and you'll see it coming up here as it's kind of a sprint draw type play with Peterson cutting back, trying to find the alley, and coming up to make the tackle for Belgrade is Hansen, Jeff Hansen.
Second down and 10, the ball at the 26-yard line. We've got 9:35 left in the first half. The pitch to Peterson. He'll try the right side with Jones out front blocking. Wow, what a hit. And Peterson gets up across the 35-yard line, but what a hit by Steve Buckholz, number 22. Ooh.
Well, these teams both got here behind their excellent defenses, and I think you can see quarterback pitching out here to Peterson. He's got a blocker out in front, but watch the hit coming up here by...
That's Buckholz.
And he's
that's the way you do it. You knock out the interference, and if you can get the ball carrier at the same time, that's gravy. We've got a timeout here on the field. We've got Truman leading Belgrade 13-0.
Federated Insurance helps you make the right moves when it comes to protect the kind of gamble.
Be out of bed for pressure.
Up here, Larry Burnett along with John Gross, the head coach at Medford High School, a team that's been in the playoffs before, plays Class C, and knows these teams awfully well. We talked about shoes a little while ago. Truman got their shoes from the University of South Dakota just so they could play on the turf here. Duvel over the middle. This one is pulled in by Mathwig, number 89, and it's a pickup to about the 42, 43-yard line. Good enough for a first down. Ricky Lindahl, number 21, in on the tackle.
Fine pass right over the middle. You'll see Jones dropping back here. He sets up, throws over the middle. His receiver makes a good move, catch the football, and holds onto it as he hits the turf.
So it's a first down at the 43-yard line of Truman. They set up in the eye with the wing to the right side. The pitch goes to Peterson, and he's got a little bit of running room to about the 47, 48-yard line.
We got a flag on the play.
John Nisley once again in on the tackle. And it looks as though it's going to be holding against Truman. First flag we've had of the game.
And this could be a costly penalty for Truman. It looked like they had another drive going, and the 15-yarder now will put the ball back down in the vicinity of about inside the 35-yard line.
8:47 remaining in the first half. Truman on top of Belgrade, 13-0. We're in the Class C championship game. Keep in mind, we've got 9 men after this one, and then we've got Class A and that big shootout in Double A coming up later on tonight.
We have a full offense. First down.
First down and a bushel to go, 22 yards. They're at the 31-yard line, and Duval wants to pass. Gets it up top, intended for Gunderson. Well, a good defensive play by Buchholz out there, but Gunderson pulls it in. He is in Belgrade territory and down at the 36-yard line.
Gunderson showing his versatility as a back for Truman that time as he makes an excellent catch here. Again, the ball is well thrown, and Gunderson streaking down the right sideline, reaches up, gathers it in, and almost breaks it all the way for a touchdown.
And actually, John, Buchholz had pretty good positioning on that one.
He certainly did. The ball was just well thrown right over his outstretched hands.
First and 10 at the 36-I formation, wing to the right, a little bobble by Peterson, but he gets control, and control enough to pick up about 4 yards. Looks like he's down to the 31-yard line.
Greg Weller comes up to make the tackle for Belgrade.
Now they're going to place it down. It looks at about the 33.5-yard line. So we'll call it the 33, a pickup of 3. That'll make it second down and 7. Once again, the eye. Once again to Peterson. This time they want to throw it. Gunderson's out there, and it is knocked down. Good defensive play. Not a bad pass by Peterson.
Right on target, but a great defensive play, and that boy is hurt now for Belgrade. I can't get his number.
Came over to make a nice defensive play to knock that ball away from Pat Gunderson. So not only does Ron Peterson, senior, coach the team, but Ron Peterson, Jr., does a little bit of running, does a little bit of punting, does a little bit of returning, and he also throws the football. It's Schumann who's
down. There's a halfback option pass now with Peterson throwing it to Gunderson, and it's Lyle Schumann who makes the play for Belgrade. Looks like he's a little bit shaken up on the play as he hit the turf.
Well, we've got a timeout done on the field here at the Metrodome. Truman leading Belgrade, the score 13-zip.
I'm Bob Stafford, a Maker Auto Body Center owner. A few years ago, people traded in a 3 to 8-year-old.
Call 1-800-345-8.
They'll put the wing out to the left.
A few years ago, join the 2 million smart money people.
$9.95, now only $180. Call now and take advantage of this outstanding offer. 1-800-345-8500.
That's Mako. It just makes good sense.
Glad to have you back here at the Metrodome for Prep Bowl 1, and happy to announce that number 88, Lyle Schumann, went off the field under his own power. Looks like he's going to be okay. We have a 3rd down and 7 situation after that errant halfback pass. And let's see what Truman's going to do. They'll put the wing out to the left with Peterson in the slot. And the I formation. They want Gunderson to run to that side, and that's where he goes, inside the 30-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, and that will bring up a 4th down situation for the Truman Blue Jays.
Swarming defense being employed by Belgrade, as it's not one person in on the tackle. You've got about 3 or 4 people making the stop. And I believe it was Kevin Bjork who made first contact. He plays the right defensive tackle for Belgrade.
4th down, and they're going for it. Rick Mathwig comes in at the end position. He is split out wide to the right as Bentz goes out of the game. They put the wing to the right side, and it's a draw play to Peterson. Can he get out of there and get that first down? It doesn't look like it, but he's close. I think everybody in the place was looking pass, except Paul Weller, because he came in and made the stop.
It's going to be very close,
but it does look like it's short. And it is. The ball turns over to Belgrade, and let's see what the Redmen can get underway. Team that won the Prairie Lakes Conference this year with a 12-0 record.
And they beat St. Paul Academy in the semifinals 20-12 in order to get here to the Metrodome.
And that was a barn burner of a game. 2 excellent teams going at it. So Duval brings them up to the line. It's 1st and 10 at the 27. We've got 6:50 left in the first half. Split them in the backfield, and they go with Borning, number 27. (13-0). Truman on top of Belgrade. We're in the Class C championship game. 9-man is after this. If you haven't seen it before, you are in for a treat. It is different. And then we'll follow it with the A game, and then it's Stillwater and Owatonna later tonight in that 2A championship. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. The ball at the 29-yard line. Borning once again trying the right side, and he is stacked up after a slight gain just past the line of scrimmage.
Ron Peterson coming up to make the tackle for Truman. He's had 113 tackles coming into this ball game.
Also in there, Darcy Drevlo, the senior defensive tackle on the left side. Intensity, you see it in the faces on the sideline. Happy to be here, but be happier to go home with a win, wouldn't they? 3rd down, 7 yards to go. They put a flanker out to the right side. Duval calls the signals, and in the backfield. Let's see, he wants to pass. And once again, just outside the outreached hands of Brian Mathiasen, the right end. So that brings up 4th, and that once again should put Mr. Lindahl back into punting formation.
He's averaging 32.3 yards per kick. His longest punt this year has been 47 yards.
5:42 left in the first half. That's 5:42. Truman on top of Belgrade, 13-0. We're in the first half of an exciting Class C championship game here at the Metrodome. It's Bentz back to receive the punt, which has been shanked. He's going to stay away from that one. It's inside the 35, and it's going to be down there by Belgrade, and that's where they'll take over. So with 5.5 minutes left, a 36-yard punt, no return. And once again, Truman with some pretty decent field position. They haven't had their backs to the wall yet. Somebody out there rooting for Truman in the fan stands. So let's see what they do. 1st down and 10, ball at the 34. We're in the 2nd quarter. This is Rosberg. He wants to go for it on 1st down, and he has got it. Mathwig pulls it in, and he's inside the 30-yard line. Big play. Buckholz once again in on the tackle.
Rick Mathwig gathering it in. He's a 6'2", 185-pound junior.
Had a decided height advantage over Buckholz on that one, and they really they played it for all it was worth.
Okay, you see Rosberg setting up, and he finds Mathwig out here, who's got a step on the defender. He gathers it in, and Buckholz makes the touchdown-saving tackle.
Truman wants another one before halftime. 5:08 to go, and Duval up top. He's looking for Bentz, just overthrown near the end zone.
Well, we said coming into the ballgame that these teams basically like to run the football, and we've seen Truman also put the ball up probably more than we expected this afternoon.
The element of surprise working to the favor of Truman. There you see the numbers on Rosberg.
Right. Statistics are impressive.
Doesn't throw much, but he's pretty effective when he does. 2nd down and 10. They're at the 30-yard line of Belgrade. Truman has the football. Looks like they might have moved on the right side, but that's where they're going with Peterson just the same. Picks up maybe a yard at best.
Pretty well played on the left side of the Belgrade defense by Ricky Lindahl, the left linebacker. Came up to make the tackle.
Of course, this Belgrade team in Class C coached by Dennis Weimerskirch. His record 12-0 on the year. This Belgrade team has never won a state championship. Matter of fact, the school has never won a state championship in any sport, whether boys or girls. They're down now, and this is Peterson. Inside the 20 to about the 22-yard line, but there's a flag back at about the 24.
That's what's called a sprint draw play out of the I formation, but it's going to be called back. Greg Weller comes up to make the tackle for Belgrade on the play. Here's the replay. As you see the sprint draw, Ron Peterson finding the hole, gets a good block right here from Atkinson. He cuts back and goes down there, but an excellent run. But it's going to come back as we've got a clipping call against Truman.
Looks like they're going to call holding, I think, John.
Holding, was it? Okay.
Holding the infraction. That'll move the ball back. And second time Truman's been hit with that holding in key situations.
Perhaps while we've got a moment, we should mention the yellow lines that you probably see on your color TV sets. I don't think we've mentioned that yet.
No, we haven't.
Those are the sideline markers for the 9-man game. They'll be coming up right after this one, and I'm really looking forward to 9-man football. I've heard a lot about it. I've just never had the opportunity to see a game, and the field is 80 yards long and 40 yards wide, so that's the reason for the yellow lines that you see on your television
set. It is a whole different game.
We have a hold on the offense.
What that means is that was a no-no. It brings the football back and puts it at the 39-yard line. 3rd down and 19. Gunderson now has rushed 11 times for 57 yards. He's also caught 2 passes. Mathwig as well. 47 yards. Over the middle, this one pulled in by number 88, William Tainter, and he's got them right back where they were before, John.
Right back, and as we said before, Truman, from all appearances, everything we were told about them, they didn't like to throw the football very much, but they've certainly had success doing it here as Rosberg has been on target. You see it coming up on the replay. Rosberg setting up a lot of time, throws it over the middle to Mathwig, who makes a great catch.
That's Tainter, number 88, okay. 6'3", 185 pounds. You see so well from that end zone view, too. You got to look for the back splitting out because of the way they've been running the football, and you set up for that, and it leaves you vulnerable to the pass. 4th down, a yard to go. Looks like Rosberg wants to take it around the right side himself and pick it up. Wow, what a hit by Buchholz. Steve Buchholz, number 22.
Excellent open field tackle by Buchholz, who came up to put the tackle on Rosberg.
Buchholz only a junior and playing very, very well.
You'll see Rosberg rolling out behind 2 blockers. Now watch Buchholz come up here and make a great open field tackle. You can feel that one way up here.
So the ball turns over. Belgrade has it with 3 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the first half. They need to get in that end zone. They're down 13-0. They go with the flanker on the left side. And the pitch, boy, just got by the lineman. This is Boyning coming to the near side, and he's up to about the 24-yard line.
Very nearly a fumble on the play, but Boyning managed to gather it in, and good speed to the outside.
Almost looked as if the pitch might have hit one of the offensive linemen dropping back on the... yeah, look at it from the line.
Coming up now on
just
the replay.
Barely got through, huh?
Right. Fine block out in front of Boyning, and he turns it up. He gets around that contain man there, but fine run.
They call it a pickup of 3. That makes it 2nd down and 7 at the 24. This is Duval, and he finds the man he's looking for, Schumann. Schumann up across the 30, and he's a little slow getting up in on the tackle. Doug Neeland, and Neeland has shown that he can come up and make some pretty good hits. Here we go again. Watch for number 88 coming across the middle.
Well-executed misdirection pass play.
Boom. Well, both of the subjects in that accident walked up a little slowly. Neeland's going off. Schumann is still in the game. They're going to bring the chains across and take a look at it. And you should be able to see, if we get a shot down there, the yellow line that you were talking about, John. There it is. The officials just walked across it.
Right.
That's not a new hash mark. That is the sideline for the 9-man game, which is coming up right after this game. 1st down, Belgrade.
Belgrade showing that they can throw the football also if they have to. As we said before, both these teams came into the state championship primarily run-orientated teams, power I type teams. Both of the, well, actually, Belgrade has run more wing T, I guess, than I, but they will go to the I if they have to.
So it's 1st down and 10. Ball at the 31-yard line of the Belgrade Redmen. They go with the inside reverse. This is Buchholz. He goes to the outside across the 40. He's up the midfield. Can he keep his balance? No, he's down at about the 44-yard line. Excellent play, and the man we were talking about before playing excellent defense makes a nice play on offense. Buchholz. Gunderson comes across to make the tackle.
Here's the replay coming up. This is a well-executed inside reverse play out of the wing T. And as you see, the running back doing a great job using his speed to get to the outside. Gunderson manages to get a hand on him right here, trip him up just enough to allow the pursuit to get over and make the tackle.
2:07 left. Belgrade driving now, late in the first half. Duval has to take it himself.
Good block.
And he may go. Look at him, inside the 25 to 20. He's got a touchdown. Bruce Duval.
I don't know who it was, but somebody made an excellent block downfield to spring him loose, and Belgrade is on the board. So Duval goes all the way for the touchdown. Now we've got a 13-6 ball game right now.
Let's see what they do on the point after. Duval is in there, so it looks as though they'll go for it. Boy, nice play. As you said, not only one good block, but several good blocks. Sprung him out there and got him going. We got a football game, 13-6. Belgrade looking to make it 13-8. They go strong to the left side, pitch it to the near side, and they're going with Lindahl. Can he get in? He can't, but there's a flag on the play. Let's look at that touchdown one more time. It was not a designed run play for the quarterback, Bruce Duval, but they may put this one in the playbook.
A broken play, but beautiful execution, beautiful run here by Duval. And there's a block coming up right in here somewhere that possibly we can see on the replay. I guess we aren't going to be able to see it from the angle, but Duval takes it all the way for the touchdown.
A flag on the point after attempt. And it looks as though Belgrade will get a chance to do it one more time.
This could be costly, as apparently it's a penalty against Truman. It will move the ball half the distance to the goal line, and now Belgrade will have the ball at the 1.5-yard line rather than the 3. And they may just give it to Boyning and have him run it right in there.
Just exactly what I was thinking. Boyning is the guy they like to go to in situations.
Face mask.
On the defense, they'll replay the try.
Maybe the shortest face guard penalty you will ever see. Just about a yard. They set up in the full house backfield. Watch for number 27. See if they go to Boyning. Everybody in tight. And they go with Buckholz, and Buckholz is in. Well, not only were we looking for Boyning, but Dennis Weimerskirch was thinking about it too, because he sent him out, and they got it in. 13-8 the score. This isn't the only state championship action going on today. Let's go out to Gary Lumpkin at the Met Center and see what's going on in the state volleyball tournament.
Hi there, Larry. Things are tightening up in the football game, and they're pretty tight right here in the volleyball in the class.
Just pushed the touchdown across.
Tight at 14, but Mayor Lutheran pulled ahead to win 18-14. Now they're in the second game right now and leading 7-2, so things are going in favor of Mayor Lutheran, but Becker came back strong in the first game, and looks like, in fact, they just scored a point there, so it's now tightening up in the second game. That's what's happening at the Class A volleyball championship. We'll be back at the conclusion of this Class A championship and tell you who won.
You want state championship action? We got it here today, and we've got a barn burner. 1:53 left in the first half. Class C action. Belgrade kicking off. They're down 13-8. They just pushed the touchdown across. This is Bentz trying to get some yardage back for Belgrade. He's got some room up across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. And with just about a minute 45 left to go in the first half, it will be Truman trying to tack on some more. Steve Weller tacking on the hit, number 24. 16 yards on that kickoff return for Jim Bentz.
This game has proved to be everything everyone expected it to be. A wide open affair.
Still going with that I formation with the slot to the near side. And still going with Gunderson. This time he gets about a yard. Maybe not.
I think the whistle may have blown.
Ball broke loose. Question is, was he down or not? And they're pointing that it's going over to Belgrade.
Boy, what a break this could be as Belgrade can get the ball back. With a minute 28 left to go in the first half.
All right, one of the officials pointed as if it were Belgrade. The head referee pointed as though it were for Truman, and the ball is going to remain in the possession of the Truman Blue Jays. Boy, that could have been a costly error. 1:10 left to go in the first half. They go with the wing on the right side. Truman does, and they pitch it to Peterson. He'll try the right side. Hanging on there for all he's worth and getting up to about the 43-yard line. Greg Weller, number 79, just grabbed on and rode him down to the turf.
Greg Weller doing a fine job coming up to contain that play. He didn't make a real picturesque type tackle, but he made it good enough to make it stay, and it's a timeout taken here by Truman.
So Truman with the timeout. Belgrade coach Ron Peterson. Check that. Dennis Weimerskirch going out there to talk with his players. Interesting, and you might talk about it, John. It's something that's relatively new in high school football, that the coach gets to go out and meet with his team rather than having one player or two players come over to the sideline. How does that work?
Yeah, it's a very, I think, innovative rule, which several years ago, I believe there were just 2 states in the United States that experimented with it. I think it was Minnesota and Kansas. It might have been the other state, if I'm not mistaken. And it allows the coach or one of the assistants to go out onto the field with his players, and I think that's really a fine rule. I know at first some of the coaches around the state were a little bit apprehensive about it, but after a 2-year trial basis, I think everyone pretty much found that it's got a lot of merit. And now high school football all over the United States, the coach is allowed to go into the huddle with his players.
So Mr. Weimerskirch comes off the field. He's got his team back in the game, 13-8. He'd like to keep him there with 45 seconds left to go in the first half. Truman would like to do otherwise. They've got the wing set up to the right side. They go with Phil Jones straight ahead. He goes off left tackle, gets up to midfield, and picks up yardage to Belgrade's 47-yard line.
Phil Jones showing some fine balance as he kept his feet moving and spinning on that last drive there. Again, kind of the sprint draw play out of the I formation.
Ricky Lindahl in on that tackle. It'll be first down and 10 at the 48-yard line of Belgrade as Truman tries it again. Same set they've been going with. Dubell wants to pass. He's got a man over the middle, and he pumps it right in there to William Tainter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon.
Once again, Rosberg right on target to Tainter. Tainter's wide open over the middle. He's been going down, and you'll see it coming up on the replay as Rosberg drops back. Again, he's got a lot of time. Throws over the middle. Tainter makes a great catch in the middle of the Belgrade defense.
So Rosberg has him on the move with 22 seconds remaining in the first half. He fakes the give to Peterson. Tries to throw outside to Gunderson, but it is intercepted by Buchholz. And it looks as though the final threat of the first half is going to die deep in Belgrade territory.
Looks like Belgrade has some of the momentum now in the second quarter. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments they make at halftime, and I think we're going to have a whale of a second half coming up.
So Buchholz snuffs out that threat that Truman had coming on late in the game. 13-8, Truman leading it. We've got 10 seconds remaining in the first half. 5 yards on that return of the interception by Buchholz. And it looks as though Belgrade's going to play it a little tight to the vest here. Time running out. May not even run a play. We'll see. Duval just checking, watching the clock count down. And that's the end of the first half. Class C championship action here at the Metrodome. Truman has the lead. They scored the first 2 times in. Belgrade came back late in the first half to get back on the scoreboard. And it is Truman leading 13-8. Let's go down to the sideline where Ed Cairo has the coach of the Belgrade Redmen, Dennis Weimerskirch. He's got him corralled. Let's see what he has to say.
All right, thank you, Larry. And Dennis, things looked a little tight there for a while, but things came back in a hurry.
Yeah, I tell you, it was tough when we gave up those 2 touchdowns. I think our kid had a touchdown here. As according to the videotape, his feet were in bounds. We came back and did score, so I think it's going to be a heck of a second half of ball.
What's your strategy? Run your quarterback the entire second half?
Well, we're going to have to try to loosen it up a little bit. They're controlling the inside pretty well. We're going to have to try to get outside, probably pass a little more. The passing seems to be pretty effective, so I think we're going to have to open up a little more the way it looks.
Go to your team, Dennis. Thank you very much. Larry, Dennis Weimerskirch here on the sidelines. Let's go back up to you.
Okay, Eddie, kind of interesting that both teams that like to run the football are having great success throwing it. And as Dennis said, look at the fans. I tell you, they're having a great time, aren't they? We're going to go back with more action. We'll return with the exciting halftime activities, including the Red Wing High School Marching Band right after this.
Power.
It's the T Gold Saturday night.
First half action.
The hall and talks about
Came out like a house of. Now he's down and then the 2-point conversion. Here's the pass.
Male jiggle is replacing female jiggle on television.
John Gross and John, we are in the middle of an exciting Class C championship game with Truman leading at 13-0.
Well, we certainly are. Truman came out like a house of fire and scored their first 2 offensive possessions, but after that they really met their challenge with Belgrade on the line of scrimmage, and we've had a wild affair as Belgrade managed to come back in the second quarter, score a touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion. Here's the pass to Gunderson. for Truman that got them in scoring position for their first touchdown. And now you'll see the touchdown pass coming up on this play to, well, it's the drive touchdown run there by Gunderson. He powers his way into the end zone, and it's 6-0 at this point now in favor of Truman.
They went for the extra point, and it was blocked, so it was 6-0. Let's correct my earlier statement. It's 13-8 the score at halftime. Here we go.
Now we see the touchdown pass off a kind of a screen play. It's supposed to be a delayed screen. Tainter does a great job of catching the football and getting in the end zone. And at that point, it's 12-0 in favor of Truman. Now you'll see Belgrade coming back on the inside reverse, a well-executed reverse play out of the wing T formation. Great run here, and just a lunging tackle there by Gunderson saved the touchdown, or what could have been a touchdown. Now we see in this play, Belgrade's Duval making a great run here, gets a fine block right there, and breaks it off all the way for a touchdown, and that gets Belgrade back in the ball game. At this point, it's a 12-6, or I should say, yeah, 12-6 game in favor of Truman. But now you'll see the extra point attempt here coming up by Belgrade, and they get it into the end zone. The first attempt, there was a face mask penalty on Truman that cost them half the distance to the goal line, and then the Belgrade team able to put the ball in for the 2-point conversion. We've got a 12-8 ball game right now.
Actually, we've got a 13-8. Well, we'll get this score right. Yeah, 13-8. Truman is leading it. We're in the Class C championship games, and we're just looking at the halftime stats, and they are very, very interesting because in rushing, Truman with 108 yards rushing, and Belgrade with 103. But really, it's been the passing that's been the difference in this game.
It certainly has, and as we talked about in the pregame show, Larry, both these teams came in and really by the run, and I suppose you do the unpredictable. And, Belgrade wasn't looking for Truman to throw the ball, and likewise, Truman wasn't expecting Belgrade, and both teams have thrown the ball very well in the first half.
Now, Dennis Weimer-Skursa says that Belgrade will come out, maybe open it up a little bit in the second half. If you're Ron Peterson on the other side of the field with Truman, what do you do there?
Well, I'm sure they're going to do the same thing. Gunderson and his son, Ron Peterson, have done a great job running the football. I'm sure they're going to stay with that pretty much. They don't want to take too many chances now, and they're going to have to rely on their defense and hope that they can stop Belgrade.
The man that we were just talking about, Ron Peterson, the coach of Truman, we're going to have an interview with him. Ed Cairo is down on the sidelines, and we'll find out what Truman is about to do in the second half.
Right, we have Ron Peterson here and the Truman band, so we're competing a little bit, Larry. Ron, what's your strategy in the second half? They tightened things up toward the end of the first.
Well, their defense is starting to come on and settle down and starting to play a lot tougher, and we're going to have to get back and get control of the line of scrimmage again.
You weren't too surprised that they came on, were you? I think you'd expected this.
No, I have a lot of respect for the Belgrade football team. I've watched them. I think they got a good team, and I was a little surprised that they were a little flat at the beginning of the game, and they're coming on real hard. And like I say, we're going to try to take control of that line of scrimmage again and see if we can get our backs through there.
Line of scrimmage will win it then in the second half.
That's the way it looks to me, yeah.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you very much. Ron Peterson from Truman. Larry, back to you.
When I talked to Ron earlier this week, he told me the exact same thing, and we're going to see what's going to happen. We'll be back with the second half action of the Class C championship game between Truman and Belgrade right after this.
Pro football. Do the most. Do the most.
Mornings at 5. There will be putting the toe to the football, and he will be kicking off, attempting to catch the ball back there will be number 33, Tim Wengler. Wengler, who averages just about 20 yards per kick return. He'd like to get some good field position here. 12 minutes and quarters, and the score is 13-8 Truman. We are underway in the second half. A short kick. It comes down to Boyning at about the 26-yard line. Actually, that's Buckholz on the far side. He takes it up across the 35. And it looks as though Belgrade is going to start action here in the second half at their own 38-yard line.
As we said before, it'll be interesting to see now what kind of adjustments the Belgrade team has made. If they decide that they're going to stay with the run, or if they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit more than maybe they did in the first half. I think they can do probably either one equally well.
Belgrade rushed for 103 yards in the first half, passed for 52, total offense 155 yards. They're short score only on the scoreboard. They're down 13-8. It's Duval, and once again, he comes to the near side. Lindahl fumbles the football, and it looks as though it is recovered by Truman. Big break here early in the second half. Bill Tainter, number 88, the man who got on top of the football, and that is a major turnaround in the early part of this second half. Here it is again.
Here it is on the replay. I think you're going to see here a fine defensive play made by Gunderson, who pops the ball out. It was his tackle that popped the ball out of there, and the recovery is made by Tainter.
Okay, so Rosberg will get the Blue Jays going once again, this time at the 49-yard line of Belgrade. They go with the eye, and they go with the wing to the left side. Gunderson, big running room. He's inside the 40. Wow, he had a hole on the right side. He got through it. Looks like it should be enough for a first down.
A gaping hole over the right side opened up by Pat Atkinson. Sprint draw play out of the I formation that they've run so effectively. You'll see it right here as Atkinson makes a fine block. Gunderson opens it up, running to the open areas of the defense, and then just keeps driving.
Boyning and the quarterback, Duvel, who also plays that safety position on defense, in on the tackle. It is enough for a first down, and that makes it a 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Truman on the move here. The delay to Gunderson, and once again he tries the right side, this time inside the 35-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of about 2 yards.
Now we've got a man down, shaken up somewhat for Belgrade.
Well, Ron Peterson says it's going to be the team that controls the line of scrimmage. That's where it's going to be won or lost, and at this point it looks as though Truman is doing a heck of a job offensively on that line of scrimmage.
Looks like Lindahl may be the man who was hurt on the play.
Boy, that would be a major blow to this Belgrade team. He has done an awful lot of stuff. We've got a timeout down on the field, and the score here is Truman 13 and Belgrade 8.
Gentlemen, we have big, small...
Make a deposit? You bet.
A rebate at your local...
Well, John, that's the same play they scored on earlier in the game. They set their tight end out a little bit and then set up a screen, and amazingly they get their blockers out there quickly enough to make this thing work.
Right. You see Rosberg fake to his right and then gets the ball out to Tainter, and he gets a fine block there from one of the offensive linemen. Coming up to throw that block was Brad Volk. Here's another look at it. You see the face mask accidentally, of course, but it still will cost 15 yards against the Belgrade defensive team.
Well, we've seen Truman move backwards because of holding penalties, and now we'll see them move ahead because Belgrade has committed the offense on the face mask. And this is a big one. It's going to take it inside the 15-yard line of Belgrade. It'll put the ball down at the 14.
We have a face mask penalty against the defense. First down.
Now Truman will crank it up. First down and 10. The ball at the 14-yard line of Belgrade. We've got about 10.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and Truman is on top in this Class C championship game with a score 13-8. The fake and then the give to Gunderson. He picks up about a yard or two. We'll call it a pickup of 2 and 2nd down and 8. John Nisley, number 73, in on the tackle from his nose guard spot.
Nisley, an excellent nose guard, has great quickness. He plays off the block very well of the center, and that time made the tackle for very short yardage for Truman.
Jim Betts goes out of the game, and number 89, Rick Mathwick, comes in for Truman on offense. Mathwick, the end on the right side. They've got Tainter out wide to the left. And from the wing, here's Peterson on the reverse. He'll go down to the 11-yard line, a pickup of 2. And it'll be 3rd and long yardage. Greg Weller, number 79, the defensive tackle, stayed at home on that one and made the stop. Tough play for a defensive tackle, particularly a younger player. And you'll see it here because he's got to stay at home. They give him all the moves, and he's got to get back in there and make it at his normal spot. 3rd down, 8 yards to go, ball at the 12. Rosberg wants to pass. There he is over the middle once again. And it is Tainter down at the 5 and just short of a first down.
Ricky Lindahl making the tackle on the play for Belgrade. He was injured or shaken up at least a few plays, but he's back in there now.
Now this Belgrade team, champions of the Prairie Lakes Conference, ranked number 2 in the AP poll. Most points they have allowed all season in any one game was 14. And they are in danger of losing that milestone moments away here. 4th down and 2. The ball is resting at the Belgrade 6. They put the wing to the left side, Truman does, and they go from the eye. Gunderson wants some running room, gets inside the 5, and should have the first down. Steve Weller, number 24, coming up from his linebacker spot to make the tackle. Let's see.
Belgrade is held.
Oh, they're going to put it at the 5, and that is not enough for a first down. So, well, we're just talking about Belgrade only giving up 14 points in any one game, and And they're going to hold on here. Good defensive play.
Well, they've got 95 yards ahead of them, though, to score what would be the go-ahead touchdown.
So the pressure shifts to the defense of the Truman Blue Jays. Looks like they'll set up with their 5-man front with both Peterson and Gunderson at the linebacker spots. In tight, and they try to go straight ahead. Looks like Buckholz getting the give. And Darcy Drevlo, he was not falling for that one. Number 50 in there to make the stop. Short gain, if any. We'll call it a pickup of about a yard. It'll be 2nd down, 9 yards to go.
Belgrade is in the area of the field right now where they simply cannot take any chances at all. They have to go with pretty much a very basic offense, straight ahead plays. They cannot risk any type of turnover down in this part of the field.
A little bit hard to open it up when you're inside your own 5. This time they go with Lindahl. He gets out across the 10-yard line to about the 11, so he gets some yardage off the left side.
Lindahl gives him a little bit of running room now as we'll bring up a third down.
Atkinson and Gunderson in on that tackle for Truman. Somebody's going home with a Class C championship here, but nobody's going to be slighted throughout this afternoon. You take a look at it again. Nice running room there and a nice cutback by Lindahl before Gunderson gets in on him and Atkinson helping out. 3rd down 4, big play. They go with the inside reverse. That's the play that worked before. It is not going to work this time. It's going to be 4th down as Buckholz, he broke loose on that one earlier, got into scoring territory, set up the touchdown. But this time, no go to the left side. Gunderson, once again, staying home, number 44, and making the tackle.
Now we've got a timeout taken. Officials timeout.
13-8. Truman leading Belgrade here in the Class C championship game at the Metrodome. As I was saying, somebody's going to win this thing and somebody's got to lose it, but no losers as far as getting to the Prep Bowl. Both teams have had tremendous seasons. The fans have been behind them. As we said, the parents have had to put up with all the long workouts and all that kind of stuff. It's sort of a payday for everybody. Unfortunately, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. Lindahl gets off the kick, a high kick, and a short one. We've got a flag back there. Looks like roughing the kicker. Nice bounce for Truman, but it's all going to be for naught.
This will bring up an automatic 1st down for Belgrade.
It looked like the offending player was Doug Neeland, number 23. Got a little bit too rambunctious going in there after the kicker, Ricky Lindahl, and that becomes another break for Belgrade. So they help themselves by putting the defense together inside the 5-yard line, and now Truman helps them out by roughing the kicker on the punt. Just under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. A reminder, we've got 9 men after this game. That's going to be interesting. You see the yellow lines out there. They move the field in a little bit from the sides, and they compact it a little bit from the ends, and they do all kinds of things in between the sidelines and the end zones.
We have a roughing the kicker penalty. Personal foul against the defense. Automatic 1st down.
So a 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 27 of Belgrade. They're trying to catch up. 6:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And they go with Lindahl off the left side. He gets out to about the 34-yard line. Joel Becker, number 33, the cornerback, coming up to make the stop.
On the replay now, you'll see Lindahl come over the left side, and he will be tackled here by Becker on the final stop. Joel Becker for Truman.
A lot of heavyweights on the left side of that line working for Belgrade. They go with the T in the backfield, and this time they come with Lindahl to the near side, and he doesn't get a whole lot because Mr. Gunderson was once again there from his linebacker position.
Now it's a 3rd down situation coming up for Belgrade.
3rd down and a long 2. Do you put it up or do you go with the running backs who have been carrying the load all afternoon? We'll find out. They go with Lindahl. He's got the 1st down and more across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Neeland coming up to make the tackle. And Sherman Scott, number 67.
Now we see it on the replay. You see the nice cut there back to the inside and a great pursuit by the Truman defensive team.
So a first down at the 41-yard line, their own 41, and now they'll go with Borning, and Borning tries the right side. He's up across midfield. Close to a first down, but looks like it's going to be short. We'll call it a pickup of 9. Ross Becker, number 10, in on the tackle for Truman, but Belgrade on the move.
Once again, you'll see a nice hole on the right side as Boyning follows his blocker and really turns it on in the secondary, and a fine tackle made on the play by Ross Becker for Truman.
Duvel for Belgrade, now 3 of 5 for 52 yards. He has not been intercepted. So far, he hasn't had to put the ball up in this drive. He's got a second and short yardage. They'll go with Borning over the left side. He's across the 45 and down to the 40-yard line. He's finally stopped on that play by number 83, Rich Wessel.
Well, Belgrade just content now to run their power off tackle, as that's what it's been so far in this drive. Here's the nice run here by Borning coming off that left side. You can see he's got a guard leading him up the field, and he spins off the first tackler and gets all the yardage he can by keeping his feet driving.
That blocker up front, number 50, Paul Weller, doing a fine job. Let's go with Borning to the right side. He's got it going, and this time he picks up a short yardage. In on the tackle, Ron Peterson for Truman. We'll call the pickup to about the 38-yard line, and it'll be second down and 8 yards to go. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter here at the Metrodome. Prep Bowl 1. Hope you're going to be with us all day. We've got a lot of exciting football action still to come. Truman on top of this Class C championship game, 13-8. Split T in the backfield. They put the wing over to the left side. That's Buckholz in the wing. Duvel wants to take it himself. No go, says Mr. Tainter. And so 2 consecutive running plays for Belgrade. Stop short. No gain on that one. You'll see it again.
There's a
they try to come
replay,
to the near side, John.
And you see Duvel keep the ball and turn it up the field, but Tainter is right there, and he just holds on for dear life, puts Duvel down.
So that'll make it third down and 8, and Belgrade wants a timeout. So while they take a timeout, we'll do the same thing. Score here at the Metrodome, Truman 13, Belgrade 8.
Just in time for the holidays, North Country's
And long wearing. It's championship game now. The team in the red is Belgrade, and they are trailing 13-8. The team in the white is Truman, and they have got the lead with about 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter of this game. During that timeout, Coach Dennis Weimerskirch didn't go out to the field to talk to his team. He sent out one of his assistants, so why not? Third down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the 38. Key situation here. They go with Borning inside, reverse to Buckholz, and he is not going to have the first down. So we are going to have one of those critical fourth down situations, and Drevlo makes the tackle, and it looks as though Mr. Weimerskirch is going to have to decide whether he wants to kick this ball away or go for it, and I think I know what he's going to do.
So do I. I don't think there's any question in his mind that he's got to go for it here, trailing 13-8. And in this part of the field, this is 4-down territory.
All right, who do you go with? Do you go with Lindahl? Do you go with Borning, or do you let Duvel run in himself? Let's see. 4th down 4. He wants to pass. Big rush put on, and Will Tainter gets to him. And that is going to put the end of that story. Tainter and Drevlo come in to make the stop on a key 4th and 4 situation at the 34. Ball goes over to Truman, and a big defensive play there, John.
Certainly was a big defensive play. Here you'll see Duval set up, and he simply has no time at all to throw as Tainter is right there and gets some help from Atkinson and a host of other Truman players.
Looked as though the cornerback on the right side did a pretty good job of popping somebody or holding somebody up because Duvel had nobody to throw to. Looked like he wanted to unload quickly. Here comes Truman with Gunderson trying the left side. He gets a gain across the 40 and up to about the 43-yard line before he's stopped by Borning and number 15, Duvel.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
Boy, look at that stat. All year long, they have not given up a point in the third quarter. And so far, that's intact today. Second down, 4 yards to go. Gunderson got 6 on the last one. Peterson wants to get the rest, but he trips over his blocker, Phil Jones, and just gets back to about the line of scrimmage. Also in there to put the stopper on was Greg Weller, number 79. Gunderson with 16 carries so far today for 75 yards for Truman. Tainter has already caught 5 balls, and that's for 50 yards. Rosberg, 9 of 11 for 144 yards and 1 interception. You see it coming up here on that last play.
Wide-angle shot here, and you can see Peterson runs into his own blocker, Phil Jones, the timing just wasn't quite there on that play.
So it makes it 3rd and 3. Rosberg wants to pass. He's got Gunderson. He's got a first down, and he's got a couple extra to tack onto that.
Just a simple down and out pattern. Gunderson gathers the ball in and picks up the first down. Ricky Lindahl and Steve Buchholz making the tackle for Belgrade.
Gunderson, a 6-footer, weighs about 200 pounds. He's a senior. As we told you earlier, gained just under 1,400 yards in 12 ball games this year. So a first down at the Belgrade 47-yard line. Third quarter action here, Class C championship. This is Peterson. Gets some good yardage, a pickup of about 7 to the 40-yard line.
Once again, the sprint draw play out of the I formation with Ricky Lindahl making the tackle for Belgrade.
Now they're expecting about 40,000 people to come in and out of this Metrodome today, and the crowds here have had a good time, and they've been enjoying themselves, and they made some noise. Both these supporters for these two teams have had something to cheer about today. Truman on top now, 13-8. About a minute to go in the third quarter, and Truman goes with Peterson. He picks his way through the crowd and gets inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Nice running by Ron Peterson, the coach's son, and he's tackled by the opposing quarterback who now plays safety, Bruce Duvel.
Here's the replay. You'll see the sprint draw play to Peterson. Again, as we pointed out earlier, he has a great knack of finding the hole in the defense. He just keeps the feet driving, and Bruce Duvel comes up to make the final stop.
Got that style that reminds me of Rob Carpenter of the Giants. Down low to the ground, picks his way, has good balance. Got hit on that play, though, didn't he? Just about to the line of scrimmage, maybe a pickup of a yard. We're going to leave it right where it is, called 2nd down and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Same play again, but that time Paul Weller, the defensive end for Belgrade, was there to make the stop on Peterson.
Time ticking away, about 20 seconds left in the third quarter here at the Dome. Truman is leading this Class C championship game 13-8. I formation, they go to the wing back, and this is Gunderson on the reverse. Boy, nicely developed play. It goes to the 15-yard line. Good enough for a first down, and Truman is on a roll here.
Beautiful execution of the inside reverse play that time with Gunderson coming from the slot position to the right. Some fine offensive blocking on the left side of the Truman line. Final stop on the play was made by Bruce Duvel.
So many players in this backfield that can hurt you, and when they switch Gunderson to the wing one time and Peterson to the wing the next time, you never know who's going to get it, and they all can do it. That's the end of the third quarter here at the Metrodome, the Class C championship game. The score now, Truman 13 and Belgrade 8.
You're looking at a business that's about to die. One of many each
Evening. We'll follow this one up with 9-man football. Then it's the A championship game, and tonight Stillwater and Owatonna in the AA contest, so stick around for those. And we got a ball game here, John, 13-8. That's the score we had at halftime. Both coaches said they were going to open it up, and neither team has really opened it up, but both teams have been able to move the football. 1st and 10, ball at the 15-yard line of Belgrade. Truman on the move. They want Peterson to take it. He does. Scrambles his way back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it no gain. 2nd and 10. Ricky Lindahl in on the tackle. He's the leading tackler for the Belgrade Redmen. Had 112 during the season leading up to Prep Bowl 1.
Actually, the Truman team lost yardage on the play.
Yeah, they're going to call it a loss of 1, so we'll go with them. 2nd down and 11. Ball now at the 16-yard line. I formation. They put Peterson in the wing to the left with Tainter on the outside. Straight ahead, the fullback, Phil Jones. And he gets inside the 10, a pickup of about 8 yards. And once again, when Truman gets down there, they get you looking for the running backs, Gunderson and Peterson. And you know that Phil Jones is the blocking back, and all of a sudden he's got the football and he's got 8 yards. Look at it again.
You see it on the replay, and you see it straight ahead blocking, and Jones just drives right through the gap, spins off real well, and then final tackle is made by Bruce Duvel, along with help from some other Belgrade players.
Phil Jones does not go down easily, does he? And hard-running fullback. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Duvel wants it all, and he's got his man out there, but it's incomplete. Intended on that play for number 89, Rick Mathwig.
Some excellent coverage on the play by Paul Boyning, who was right with his the intended pass receiver.
So it will be 4th down and 3, and just a few minutes ago we saw Belgrade going through a fourth situation where they had to decide what to do. They got stopped. And now let's see what happens with Truman. Truman, it looks as though they're going to try to attempt a field goal. Truman will have Rosberg holding and Darcy Drevlo in to attempt what looks to be a 25-yard field goal. The kick is up. It looks as though it's blocked. And so for the second time in the game, a Darcy Drevlo kick has been blocked. He had a point after touchdown blocked before. This one blocked by Ricky Lindahl. And with the score 13-8, we'll return to the Metrodome after this.
What's so great? 10%.
F2M. Larry Burnett along with John Gross. Belgrade has the football on the change of downs, and they are going to come to the near side with Ricky Lindahl. It breaks the tackle up across the 30-yard line and dragged out of bounds by number 10, Ross Becker.
Boy, Lindahl does it all for this Belgrade team. Here you see it on the replay as Lindahl comes off the left side, breaks the tackle right there, now turns it on into high gear, and you'll see Ross Becker come up to make the final stop on Lindahl.
Well, his teammate in the backfield, Boyning, has rushed 14 times for 52 yards. Duvel has hit 3 of 5 passes for 52. There's Lindahl again, and he is submarine. Gunderson, I guess, got an initial hand on him. And then the man who really put the stop on him was number 89, and that would be, once again, Rick Mathwig. Mathwig getting up a little gingerly there, but he's all right. Some of the cheerleaders, hey, they're part of the team, too. They keep with them all the way.
Second down and 9.
So they get a trip to the Dome and a Saturday inside, you might say. Lindahl with 9 rushes for 38 yards so far. They're going to go with Boyning. Had some troop carriers out in front of him, and he gets out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Nice run. Bill Tainter in on the tackle, but not before a nice pickup by Paul Boyning.
I think Boyning shows us why he gained almost 1,500 yards during the season this year for Belgrade, as he really keeps those feet moving. Here you see him running off the right side. He gets a fine block there by Lindahl, keeps the feet churning, and look at the power in the legs, and great second effort by Boyning.
Also some great blocking by number 50, Paul Weller, the left guard. So that becomes a first down, the ball at the 46-yard line of Belgrade. We're in the fourth quarter with about 9:45 remaining. Belgrade trying to get back in here. They're trailing 13-8. They go with Lindahl. He tries the right side, gets up to about the 49-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of about 3, and that'll move him up a little bit.
Joel Becker makes the final stop on the play for Truman.
So that becomes a first down at this point. They spot the ball at the 48-yard line. Sitting that backfield, we've got Duval at quarterback. Also in the backfield, Lindahl and Boyning. And they send Buchholz out on the wing. This is Lindahl, and he goes over the left side. Scraps for about all he can get, picks up about 2 yards. Pat Atkinson, number 76, in on the tackle. Somebody's going to be number 1 when this thing's over. Nobody should be slighted, though.
And what a thrill that is.
Oh, I bet it is. Second down, 7 yards to go. The ball just about at the 48. Wing to the left side this time. Duval takes it himself. He scored on a play like this before, and he gets big yardage inside the Truman 40-yard line down to the 38. Pat Gunderson, number 44, makes the stop.
Great execution on the play that time by Bruce Duval. As he came out to his left, he decided to turn it upfield. You'll see it right here. And he gets by Tainter, or Mathwig it was, and he turns it up the field, and you see his great speed.
And it turns into a first down. Duval, 6 carries for 57 yards so far today. They've got another first down. Now at the 39-yard line of Truman. Quick handoff inside. Looked like it went to Lindahl. He just squirted his way through inside the 35-yard line to about the 34.
Just the old straight-ahead dive play. Ricky Lindahl with very quick feet just shot right through the middle of the Truman defense.
They'll spot it down at the 35-yard line, so let's call it second down at about 7.
Here you see the run coming up by Ricky Lindahl, and you see him try to spurt and drive for that extra yardage.
Really tripped over his own blocker, Dwayne Hopewell, or he might have gotten some more yardage. Full house, and they put Boyning in motion to the near side. Lindahl again. This time he goes off the right side, and that's down to about the 31-yard line.
Once again, Pat Gunderson making the tackle for Truman on the play.
Gunderson's going to be a tired guy when this thing's over. He's been doing a lot on both sides of the line.
Well, these teams have both worked very hard to get here, and they've had great seasons. Truman came in 10-1. Belgrade is 12-0. So, in spite of who goes away without the state championship, they've had great seasons.
Belgrade has averaged just over 25 points per game, so they are well below their average in this game. They go with Borning. He follows his blocker through, gets down to the 30. He's going to be short with the first down. And once again, John, we're going to look at a fourth down situation, and you got to be betting that Belgrade is going to run the football. Gunderson pops in for the stop again, helped out by Phil Jones, the nose guard.
I would certainly think so, Larry. I would think in this situation they would go with what's got them to this part of the field and what's got them into the championship for the Class C in the state of Minnesota. And I would look for the run here.
Well, let's see what they do. They're down 13-8 in this Class C championship game. Just under 6:50 remaining in the contest. 4th and 1. They need a long yard. Duval keeps it himself. Looks like he's got the first.
Tackle made by, you guessed it, Pat Gunderson.
But not before.
Here's the replay. Duval keeps the ball and drives in there, and you see Gunderson make the tackle, but not until Duval picks up the first down.
So Belgrade keeps it alive. You almost got to feel that they need to punch one in on this drive where their backs are going to be completely to the wall.
Time becoming critical now with 6.5 minutes left to be played.
Lindahl goes in motion to the far side. Quick inside handoff, and this one goes to Borning. Borning gets down to just about the 26-yard line. Pickup of about 2 yards. Phil Jones makes the stop.
Truman's defense has been outstanding all year. I'm sure that we're going to see them possibly go to some 6-man front here. They've played pretty much a 5-man front all afternoon, but they do have the ability to play 6-man front too if the team is running the ball consistently at them.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the 26. Duval on the naked reverse comes to the near side. He is just out at the 20-yard line, and that will be short of the first down. So it'll be 3rd at about a yard or 2. Rich Wessel, number 83, the safety, coming up to make the stop.
We're going to take a look at this on the replay as you see Duval. A misdirection type play comes out to his left, and he had the whole Truman team fooled, and he's stopped a little bit short of the first down, but you see him lunge there for that extra yardage, and now it's a big play once again for Belgrade.
3rd and 2, ball at the 20. Inside handoff goes to Borning. He may get in the end zone, but he's pulled down at the 5.
Beautifully
They only needed 2, but they got a bundle.
Beautifully executed inside trap play by the offensive line for Belgrade as they blew a hole in there in the middle of the Truman defense. Here you see it. Watch the, I thought it was a trap, but it's straight ahead blocking, but a great hole. And as we see, making the final tackle for Truman, I believe.
That was Nealand, I think, in on the
Nealand.
stop. Borning almost lost that football on that play. Could have been tough. First down, goal to go, ball at the 6-yard line. They go with Borning again, and he just walked his way through there. Got about 3 yards. Not to be premature, John, but should they go in and score, it would make it a 14-13 game without the extra point. And the extra point missed by Truman earlier in the game and the missed field goal attempt become very, very important.
The kicking game. It demonstrates the importance of the kicking game, not only in high school football, but I think in all levels of football.
Belgrade fans looking for a score. So is Bruce Duval. He's got them stacked up in the backfield. Turns and hands to Buckholz, and he gets down to about the 1.
Ooh, Pat Gunderson made the stop on the running back, and there was quite a collision in there. Great defensive play.
Buckholz has been involved in a couple of collisions. He's been given some, and he's been taking some today. And it looks as though Belgrade wants to call timeout. Boy, they've got a 3rd and goal at the 1 while they take a timeout. We'll do the same thing. The score here at the Dome, Truman 13 and Belgrade 8.
There are the
Back at the Metrodome, and we are in a key situation. 3rd down, goal to go from the 1-yard line. Belgrade has it. They trail 13-8. Duval calls his own number, gets into the end zone. They've got the lead. It look at it again, John.
There you see Duvel give that extra effort getting into the end zone. There's another look at it right from the goal line, and you'll see Duvel keep his feet driving behind the offensive line, and here's another look at it.
Well, we got a bunch of looks at it, don't we? Truman fans aren't going to enjoy it, but Belgrade fans are. Great blocking out front by the right tackle, Jeff Hansen, number 76. He opened it up. Belgrade's going to go for 2. And it looks like there's a delay of game. In the game now for Belgrade in that wing position, number 24, Steve Weller, as they go for the 2-pointers. So he has not seen a whole lot of action on offense in this game. And possibility they may have something up their sleeve.
We have a dead ball foul. Offense, illegal procedure. We'll try the point again.
Well, that scoring drive, 18 plays, covered 80 yards, and it ate up 6 minutes on the clock. Coaches like to see that when it's their team doing it. Wing goes to the right side this time. Duvel wants to pass out to Buchholz. Can he get in that end zone? No. So we have a 1-point game, folks. Belgrade, for the first time, leading in this ball game, 14-13, with 4 minutes and 38 seconds remaining. Duvel scored on that 1-yard touchdown. The point after, no good. So it's 14-13. Now, keep in mind that Belgrade, the school, has never won a state championship in anything, boys or girls, and right now they are 4 minutes and 38 seconds away from coming away with a Class C championship, John.
That's right, but Truman has shown us that they certainly can move the football also, so I think we're going to have quite a last 4 minutes here in the ball game.
Now, back in 1965, I believe it was, Belgrade went undefeated, but there were no playoffs then, so they could not come up with a state championship.
Right. 1972 was the first year that Minnesota high school football went to the playoff system.
So they're reaching out for the brass ring on this one today. Belgrade on top, 14-13. Now, don't count Truman out, but the thing you got to keep in mind, John, is that this Truman defense has played an awful lot, and most of these players have got to come back, and they're going to be carrying the load on offense. They could be tired.
Very good point.
Here's the kickoff. Greg Weller puts it on the foot, and Jim Bentz picks it up. He's across the 25 and the 30. Truman will take over at their own 32-yard line with 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the game. Class C championship game. We promised you a good one, and I think we've come through with it. 21 yards on that kickoff return.
This is high school football at its best. State championship, everything hanging on the line. These teams started practice way back in August. They've had a lot of hard work, and it comes down to this.
It's the last day of the season. George Rosberg, the quarterback, gives the handoff to Peterson. He gets about a yard before being stopped there by number 50, Paul Weller. Good defensive play.
I think we might see Truman put the ball up in the air here on this series.
I think we've got to see him put it up here. Time's running out. We haven't seen this offensive unit on the field in over 6 minutes.
Here it is.
Here they go. Rosberg wants it up in the air. He gets it to Gunderson. Who else? He's at the 45 and up to about the 48-yard line. And so Truman is in striking position once again. Buchholz in on the tackle. He's had a good game at that quarterback spot. There's a young fan. She's having a good time. Or Gunderson's been a workhorse for this Truman team. You'll see him again.
Here you see it on the replay coming up as Rosberg, again with a lot of time, finds Gunderson coming across, and he's wide open. Makes a good catch, takes a good hit there, and Buchholz makes the final tackle.
1st and 10. The pitch goes to Gunderson. He follows Jones and just gets away from one blocker. He's going to lose about 2 yards. He's got Boyning, number 27, in on the tackle. Well, Rosberg has put the ball up a little more than we expected. He has thrown 14 passes. He's completed 11 for 167 yards, and he's had 1 intercepted.
Here's a look at it again. It's a quick pitch play to Gunderson. Jones out there leading him, but he's unable to handle Mathiasen, who makes the initial contact, and then coming up to make the final stop is Paul Boyning.
Well, you've got to think that at this point, Belgrade is looking for Gunderson. You may come up with the Peterson attempted option pass that we saw earlier in the game that worked. And if they're looking for Gunderson, both the run and pass, so that might open up somebody like Tainter or Mathwig, one of the ends who have had good success so far in the passing game.
They've also had success both times they've run that screen to Tainter. Maybe they'll try that.
Right. They fake in the backfield. Looks like they've got a man open, and it is Peterson. He's at the 40 and down to the 36-yard line, a first down. We're inside the 3-minute mark. 2:52 left in this Class C championship. Bruce Duvel in on the tackle there. So Peterson comes out of that wing position and becomes a receiver, and it's a big gain.
I think these teams have shown why they're here, Larry. Here we see it on the replay. We see Rosberg drop back, look over the field, and again, he's got a lot of time, and now he finds Peterson wide open near the left sideline, and he cuts it back to the inside of the field, but he picks up the first down.
First down at the 36-yard line. Quick handoff to Jones inside. He is going to get inside the 30-yard line, and he bulls his way to about the 27. Tim Wengler, number 33, runs him out of bounds, but this Truman Express is getting up some steam here. 2:33 left. Watch it again, that quick handoff.
You see Jones find the hole, and then he accelerates after he breaks that first tackle, keeps the feet driving, and takes it up before he's knocked out of bounds. But this Truman team is on the move.
From the 27-yard line, there they get it outside to number 88, Tainter. Doesn't get a whole lot, but he's down to about the 20-yard line. Buckholz, number 22, the number once again that gets in there to make the stop. As we said, Mr. Buckholz has been dishing out some punishment throughout the day.
Tainter is shaken up on the play.
I've been impressed with both of these teams. They both had opportunities to go down, and state championship action exciting here. Exciting as well at the Met Center, where we've got volleyball action. Let's go out to Gary Lumpkin, see what's going on.
Hello there. Right now, we're in the middle of the second. All right, going back to the two-time defending. Armstrong is in the dark jerseys on the other side of the net.
Class C championship action here at the Metrodome, and Belgrade is on top 14-13. Can't say enough for these two teams. They have played well. Both have had opportunities to get down, and they have come back after some adversity. Heck, Truman just sat by and watched as Belgrade drove for 18 plays, 6 minutes to go ahead with the leading touchdown, and now here they are coming back. 1:43 left. Rosberg rolls out. He's got a man after him. Can he unload it? He does to Gunderson. Short of the first down, but down to about the 13-yard line. Clock still ticking away. 1:32. Boyning in on the tackle.
Right. Rosberg showing his ability to roll to his left and throw that ball right on target to Gunderson. Now we've got a timeout taken here by Truman.
Well, it's getting down to the nail biting here, and you're going to get to see it. It's awfully difficult to roll left and throw for a right-handed quarterback.
And throw accurately. You'll notice the quarterback has to throw the ball across his body, but Gunderson is there to make the reception. But it is short of the first down.
Well, Gunderson's been impressive. He does a little bit of everything out there, doesn't he?
He is a good all-around football player.
1 minute, 32 seconds away, and when that time ticks away, somebody's going to be the Class C champion, and right now we just don't know who it's going to be.
I think an interesting point here, we saw Truman go for the field goal earlier, so apparently they do have the field goal kicker, and that could win them the ball game if they decide to do so.
Okay, we're going to come right back. Let's check back at the Met Center now and see what's going on in the volleyball.
Okay, back here now. It is now 18-7.
Paul Weller in on the tackle.
And if they win this point, they are the three-time defending championship. I tell you, they've been stuck on 17, though, Larry, for about 5 minutes as Columbia Heights has narrowed the score down. So they're still playing. We'll come back to you in just a few minutes.
Excitement there, excitement here. Third down, 2 yards to go. The ball at the 13. Rosberg hands off to Peterson. Does he have the first down? Looks like he is going to be short. Oh, Paul Weller in on the tackle. We're at the 120 mark. And it looks as though we're going to have another fourth down situation. They have tried 2 kicks so far today. 2 have been blocked. I guess they're going to have to keep the ball on the ground. I don't think they want to go with the kicking game at this point.
Well, they've got just over a minute left to go, but they're going to go for the field goal.
And this time we're going to have Peterson kicking instead of Drevlo. Wow.
It all boils down to this.
1 minute left. Peterson is going to attempt a field goal. It is up. Is it long enough? Yes!
Barely got over the crossbar.
Oh! That one had legs. It walked across. And Peterson has come in and kicked a field goal. And if I'm not mistaken, Peterson has only attempted 1 field goal this year, and he missed that one. And yet the coach, Dad, if you like, calls for a field goal with a minute left on the clock. And Lordy B, Truman has a 16-14 victory. Look at this one again. You may have to blow this one over the
Here it is.
goalpost.
Ron Peterson, the son of the head coach. He barely gets the ball over the crossbar, but it's long enough.
Get up there.
And there it goes, right over the crossbar.
Wow. 29-yard field goal by Ron Peterson. And folks, that could be the ball game. The guy has not kicked a field goal all year, and he comes in with a minute left in the Class C championship game. First time ever on turf, first time indoors, and he kicks a 29-yarder. 10-play drive, covered 68 yards. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left, but the key numbers right now, Truman 16, Belgrade 14, 53 seconds left. Atkinson kicks it off. They don't want to run back on this one. On the other hand, Mr. Boyning does, and he's got the football. He is taken down on a nice play by Doug Nealon. About 4 yards on that kickoff return. Yeah, they got something to cheer about out there. 49 seconds left. Wow, Belgrade looked as though they were finally going to get that elusive state championship, and now it doesn't look too good, although they've shown that they can hit for some quick yardage, both through the air and in on the ground, but they're down at this point. 40 seconds left. Duval has his work cut out for him. They pitch, and it's fumbled. That's not going to help matters.
Phil Jones in there to mix things up for Truman.
I don't know if you noticed it, John. There may have been something going here because Duval, after he pitched the ball, ran quickly towards the sideline. Now, he may have become a receiver on that play. I'm not sure.
I was going to say the same thing. It appeared as if the flow was intended to go to the right on the pitch, and Duval may have been trying to sneak out the other way in the old throwback pass to the quarterback. Let's see if they come back to that.
Let's quickly check in with Gary Lumpkin in the volleyball. It's over now.
Okay, right now it's all over at the girls volleyball AA championship. And we were here the last time. It went back. We were here the last time.
And there is Ron Peterson, the man who looks like he is going to take home the Class C championship, the not-so-happy assistant coach there for Belgrade. They're down 16-14, 22 seconds left on the clock. Duval has got to work some magic here with time running out. Looks to throw, and it just slipped out of his hand. Almost intercepted. Let's see, did Atkinson come up with it? No, they're calling it an incomplete pass. 6 seconds tick off the clock. We've got 16 left.
Atkinson doing a juggling job there of the football. Here's a look at it again as Duval drops back to pass. You see Atkinson put his hands up. Now he'll kind of juggle the ball here. He just doesn't quite get the hand on it. And the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
Good call. Yeah, I would imagine the hands get a little bit slippery about this point in the game. A lot on the line and time running out for Belgrade. They're down 16-14. New quarterback in the game, and they're going to try to go long. It is intercepted. Getting in to pick it off is Ross Becker. Ross Becker, number 10, and he takes it back. The man who threw the football on that last play was Tom Zenner. Tom Zenner in for that one play. He lofted it up there, and it was picked off by Ross Becker. So it looks as though victory is going to be sweet for Truman and very bitter for the Belgrade Redmen. 17 yards on that interception return by Ross Becker.
Here's a look at that long pass, and you see Truman was in a prevent defense, and the ball is picked off by Becker, and he takes it back, of course, looking for the goal line, but I think he's just interested mainly in letting the time run out. And that is the end of the football game. Truman is the Class C state champion for 1982.
And a fine football game it was. A tough loss for those Belgrade Redmen. Looked as though with just under 5 minutes to go in the game, they had finally wrapped up their first state championship. But it was not to be, as Truman put together an excellent drive, marched down the field, and lo and behold, a guy, Ron Peterson, who has not kicked a field goal all year, had one attempt and missed it. He came in and kicked a 29-yard field goal with just about a minute left in the game, and that turns out to be the deciding points. So the team that had problems with the kicking game had an extra point blocked, had a field goal blocked when Drevlo was trying to kick them earlier, wins by the kicking game when Peterson comes in and kicks that 29-yarder, and that puts Truman with the crown on their head. They are the Class C champions, and that puts their record this year at 11-1. Tough loss, I know, for the Prairie Lakes Conference champions, the Belgrade Redmen. They are 12-1. And you see their head coach, Dennis Weimerskirch, going around congratulating everyone.